Sony. Yet again, you delayed the A7S III. Canon used to cripple the cameras, but it seems now that duty has been given to you, right? People are getting tired, people are getting sick, people want the A7S II Successor. You can't keep on delaying it because of Canon. Now Canon is coming up with the Canon EOS R5 and R6, and they're gonna crush your cameras. What are you gonna do, Sony? Continue delaying the A7S III? Back on board? Come on, it's about time you release that camera. Anyway, let's get on with this video, because I don't want to make it too long. So, let's begin. Alright guys, welcome to another video for the channel. In this video, it's gonna be a podcast type of video, so it's gonna drag out a little bit. In this video, I'll be talking about Sony, Canon, Olympus, Panasonic, and Nikon. I'm going to be talking about upcoming cameras, models which have already released, and some rumors here and there for the upcoming specifications for the Canon EOS R6, as well as a sad news for the Olympus. Before we start, I just want to show you something I got actually recently. This is very cool. I got this lens. Yeah. Let's see if the camera focuses. Come on, Nikon, you can focus. Come on. Okay, there we go. So I got the Canon 24-105, guys, as you can see. Now, what does this mean? Does this mean that I'm switching to Canon? No, actually no, because this is actually not a real lens. This is actually a coffee mug. Okay, as you can see, it's a coffee mug, and yeah, it's supposed to hold coffee. But you can also it can also be used to store pencils and pens and stuff like that. And yeah, it was only €5. I had to pick it up because I'm a how can you say it? I'm a camera addict and gearhead and stuff. So yeah, I really like photography, so I had to pick this up. Very nice for decoration as well. You can also use it for decoration. So yeah, pretty nice. And the lens itself, the 24-105, is very popular lens. So yeah, really happy with this acquisition. So yeah, just throwing that on there. I might use that for future videos as well, to drink coffee and stuff. I don't know, we'll see about that. But anyway, because I want to make the video too long, I'll try not to drag on too much. Okay, so I'm going to be starting with Canon first, then we're going to end with Olympus. So I am already here in the rumor sites, of course. So we have right here some specifications for the upcoming Canon EOS R6, which is supposed to be announced in July, so this month. This is supposed to be a lower grade variant of the EOS R5. It's not going to be as high end as the EOS R5, but if these rumors turn out to be true, it's going to be a great camera. So we have right here the specifications. Now pay attention that this is rumors, so take it with a grain of salt. New information in bold. Okay, so we have some rumors here. So it's probably going to be used a 20 megapixel full frame CMOS sensor. Now, is it going to be the same sensor as the Canon 1DX Mark III? We don't know. It's 20 megapixels only, so that means it's going to be pretty great in low light. But the problem I have with this camera is that it's not going to have as much video focused emphasis as the EOS R5. And the EOS R5 is supposed to have more resolution. It's going to have about 45 megapixels. That's the rumored pixel count. This one has 20 megapixels. So I think I will think Canon will capitalize more on this one for video because it's a lower resolution. So that means it can have better video and low light, but it's not gonna have as great of a video as the EOS R5. It's not gonna have 8K, of course, but for example 4K, it's not gonna have 4K 120 like the EOS R5. I don't know what that is, but if this camera can have better quality, then that's gonna be good. So it's gonna have IBIS, in-body image stabilization. So that's really nice, because this and the R5 are gonna be the first cameras for Canon to have IBIS. It's gonna have 20 frames per second mechanical shooting and 20 frames per second electronic. So that's pretty good for photography. Now this is some new information. It's gonna have oversampled 5K video. This is pretty great. It's probably gonna be similar to the GH5, which also has 5K video as well. It's pretty nice. I hope it's really good, because you can have, just because you have 5K or 8K in the case of the SR5, does it mean it's gonna be good quality? You can have the biggest resolution you want, but if it's not that great of a quality, then it's not gonna be that great. So if the video from this camera is sharp and good, then that's gonna be nice. It's gonna have 4K at 60 frames per second maximum. Again, like I was saying, it should have had 120 4K, but it's only gonna have at 66 frames per second. But like I said, if it's sharp and good, the quality of the video, then it's gonna be nice. It's gonna have Full HD at 120 frames per second. Okay, this is obvious, because they also have the EOS M6 Mark II, which also has Full HD 120. It's gonna have Canon lock, so it's gonna be nice for the color grading in post. It's gonna have 10-bit video. This is nice. I hope it's internal. I think it's gonna be internal, actually. It's not gonna be external. It's gonna have zebras. Now this is surprising. They're gonna add zebras to this camera. That's pretty nice for the video. That's a more professional thing. You don't see you don't see this thing in most consumer-oriented cameras. You see this in more high-end cameras, so it's pretty nice. The AF is going to be identical to the SR5, so it's going to have a pretty good AF. It's going to have dual pixels, so it's going to be pretty nice. No raw video mode. This I don't really think it's necessary, because if the video is pretty good, I mean 4K is nice to have, yeah, but it's not really necessary in my opinion. It's going to have dual SD UHS 2 slots, head detection AF, okay, animal detection AF. Identical 5 million dot EVF as USR5. Now this is surprising, because the rumors, when they were starting to come out, they said that the EVF would not be as great as the USR5, but right here they're saying it's going to be identical, so that's pretty nice. No top-down screen. That is not needed for video, because you're going to do video, you're not going to be using the top-down screen. I don't think that's not really necessary. Build quality not as good as the USR5. Okay, that is to be expected, because it's a lower price. Bluetooth 4.2, LP E6NH battery, same as the USR5. Now, I hope the battery life is really nice. If they can improve the battery life in the USR5 and R6, that's going to be pretty great, especially because they're focusing really greatly in video. The battery life in the USRP and the USR really suck, so if they can get a better battery in these cameras, that's going to be really nice. The announcement is supposed to be on July 9, 2020, and the rumored price, as of this moment, it's rumored to be under $2,500 US. So these are the rumored specs at the moment. Now it's shaping up to be a really great camera. I think this camera might actually be a better setup than the USR5, because most people don't really need the 8K of the USR5, and if this camera has better low light, which I really think it's gonna have, because it's a lower megapixel count sensor, then that's going to be really nice. Now, we still don't know some things about the video, like for example, is it going to have unlimited recording? How is the overheating gonna affect the recording? Or should I say, have they implemented something to avoid the overheating? I mean, we still don't know about that. I really want these cameras to have unlimited recording. That's what I want the most, is to have unlimited recording, because no Canon camera, consumer oriented, has unlimited recording. So if these cameras have unlimited recording, that's going to be pretty dope. If they do not have unlimited recording, I think that's going to be a deal breaker. For me, it's going to be a deal breaker, and for many people as well, because many people demand unlimited recording. They need to film content and stuff, and they want unlimited recording. So if this camera does not have unlimited recording, that's gonna suck a little bit, but let's hope it has. So now we're gonna go into the mythical unicorn Sony A7S III. So here we have Sony confirms the A7S II Successor is coming this summer, and says everything on this camera is new. Okay, so this camera has been going on for so many years now. It's gonna be about 5 years, I believe, since the A7S II released. I don't know why Sony is taking so long to release this camera. They have already said they want to exceed expectations, but the expectations now are not as great as they once were. In my opinion, this camera should have been released in 2018 or 2019. Now it's too little too late. The USR5 is coming. It's gonna have 8K video. If this camera is supposed to have everything new, I really doubt that, because Sony now is crippling all of their cameras, so I don't know what they can do. It will be nice if they implement a global shutter. Now that will be nice, a global shutter, but I really don't know. I mean, they say right here that's gonna have some feature requests like 4K 60p, 10-bit 422. The thing is, these things have already been offered by many cameras in the past, especially Blackmagic. Blackmagic, for example, already offers these things. They also offer Blackmagic RAW, which is 12-bit, so it's not even 10-bit. It's even better than 10-bit. So that's the thing. I mean, the A7S III, I don't think it's gonna be as good as most people think. I think it's gonna be the biggest disappointment of recent times in camera gear. I mean, if their professional line of FX cameras, which are the true high-end video-oriented cameras, are not that great and do not even have 10-bit, how is this camera gonna have 10-bit if it's supposed to be less than $4,000? I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be that great of a camera. So I don't know. I mean, I hope it's really great, because that will push more cameras to release better cameras and gear. But I don't see this camera being that phenomenal. I will do another video when it finally releases. But for the time being, everything, the specs included, everything is rumored, so we still don't know how this camera is gonna be. There hasn't been any leaks whatsoever. So yeah, Sony is known to do this. They don't want to leak anything. They try their best to not have anything leaked, and then when they release a product, it really is shocking, both positively and negatively. You either like the camera or you don't like it when they announce it. So that's it. So yeah, the A7S II Successor. I don't know if it's gonna be named the A7S III. They have said that the S now is gonna stand for Supreme Image Quality. I don't know what that inclines. I mean, back then it was supposed to be sensitivity because of the low light, but because sensors now are so much better, and the A7 III is almost as good as the A7S II, I don't think they really need to implement a really low resolution sensor. I think it's going to be a stacked sensor. They have a 15 megapixel stacked sensor. I think they're going to be using that actually, and it would be nice if they also have quad bayers implementation. So 15 megapixel quad bayer sensor. Now that would be nice, because you could have 15 megapixels for video and 40 megapixels or something like that for the high resolution shooting and photography. Now that would be nice. But again, I don't know. We're gonna have to wait till the announcement to further know about this camera. But I don't think it's gonna be that great of a camera. So yeah. Then Sony also is rumored to launch pretty much a competitor to the USRP, a full-frame Sony A5 at $999. Now this camera right here, they have it in an APS-C type body in the 6000 series line. This camera, I don't really see it selling that well. It's most likely not gonna have IBIS. I really doubt it's gonna have IBIS, because if it's supposed to be $1,000, it's not gonna have IBIS, which is not that great in Sony cameras, but it's always nice to have IBIS, I guess. The video is gonna be not that great. It's probably gonna have cropped video. I'm pretty sure it's gonna have cropped video. We really don't know much about this. I mean, it would be much better, and I would advise Sony to release an APS-C camera in a full frame body. Now that would be nice. That's what people want, an A7000 camera, pretty much an A7 III in an A6000, or should I say an A6000 series camera in an A7 III style body. Now that would be pretty nice, because I don't really like, me and myself and many people don't like the rangefinder style. Yes, it makes the camera small, but the lenses are pretty big, so it's not going to be that great of a shooting experience. I would really like for Sony to release an A7000 or something like that to compete with the Nikon Z5, for example, a wildlife-focused APS-C camera in the bigger body. That will make the IBIS much better, because the IBIS system will have more room to move around in the sensor. But oh well, I don't see the A5 really standing that great. I mean, really, it's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna be that great. The battery life is gonna be very crippled. as well, because it's supposed to be 1000 watts, so I don't see this camera selling that great. And overall, I don't think they should release this camera. They should release cameras which people want, not cameras which people do not want. But yeah, that's it for Sony. So now we're gonna go over to the Nikon, which is supposed to announce in late July the Nikon Z5. This is supposed to be a lower grade Nikon Z6, and there's already some rumored specs here. So it's gonna have the same EVF as the Z6. So the EVF in the Z6, I've heard that it's pretty good. So that's gonna be nice, I guess. No top panel LCD. This is not really needed, and it is to be expected because it's a lower end camera. But I never really got the top panel LCD. I mean, I don't know what the companies have with this. I never found it to be that useful. It can be useful, yes, in some situations, but overall, I don't think it's really that necessary. And it eats up battery, so the battery gets more drained because of this. I don't really think it's necessary. So I don't see that. So it's good that it's not gonna have that. It's gonna have dual SD UHS 2 memory card slots. Now this is interesting because both the Z6 and the Z7 only have one card slot. This one is supposed to be a lower grade camera, yet it's gonna have dual card slots. Nikon, what are you doing? I mean, why didn't you add dual card slot to the Z6 and Z7? Why are you doing it to the Z5? Oh, I know, because you heard people complain, right? Well, Nikon, you're pretty much stupid in this regard, because you should have had the dual card slots to the Z6 and Z7. That's one of the reasons why those cameras don't sell really that great, because people demand dual card slots. It's gonna have for the sensor, the resolution is gonna have 24 megapixels full frame sensor. It's not sure if it's gonna be backside illuminated or not. I think it's gonna be backside illuminated. There's no reason not to wear the backside illuminated sensor. That will allow for better dynamic range and better low light performance. Again, 24 megapixels. That's the same as the Z6, so it's gonna be pretty balanced in terms of video and photography. It's gonna have IBIS, so that's great. The IBIS on the Nikon Z cameras are better than the Sony cameras, at least for video, but they're not as great as Panasonic, of course. It's gonna have 1 million dots LCD screen resolution. Okay, magnesium alloy camera body. It's gonna have a new battery. Now this is important because the battery life on the Nikon Z6 and Z7 really suck. For photography, for video I think they're decent, but for photography they really suck. So let's hope the battery life on this camera is much better than the Z6 and Z7 for photography. It's gonna have USB-C camera powering, not just charging, so that's pretty nice. So that will be nice for the live streaming and stuff like that, when you want to have the camera powered up all the time to allow for longer recording sessions. It's gonna have the same AF system as the Z6. Now this is kind of not great, because the autofocus on the Z6 is not really that great. It's not as good as the Canon and Sony, and I don't even think it's as good as Fujifilm. I don't know. It's decent. It's much better than the DSLRs because it actually is face detection AF, but it's not really that great in terms of being a competitor to Canon or Sony. So yeah, it's gonna have 1.7 times video crop in 4K, no slow-mo option. This is kind of disappointing because this camera should be targeted for the video shooters, not for mostly for video shooters, also for photographers I guess, yeah, but mostly for video shooting. So it's gonna have 1.7 times video crop. That's gonna suck because pretty much this is a full frame camera. If it's gonna have 1.7 times crop, it's not gonna be full frame anymore. So why won't you just buy an APS-C camera? I mean, I don't know. I really find this to be really absurd and stupid, because you buy a full frame camera to have the full frame coverage. This is gonna become pretty much an APS-C camera at this point, so it's not really that great. 6 frames per second burst shooting. Okay, don't care about that. Official announcement expected on the second half of July, and the camera will start shipping later this year. Okay, so that's pretty much the Z5. It's supposed to be a lower end Z6. Now the Z6 is not really that bad for video. It just sucks that it does not have unlimited recording. I don't know why Nikon did not add unlimited recording to the Z6. Probably because of overheating, but even so, they still could have added unlimited recording. And if the camera did in fact overheat, it will shut down or something like that, or put out a warning on the screen. Now the Z6 is supposed to be very video centric. Nikon really emphasized the video specs on this camera. They have released a video kit as well and stuff like that. But unfortunately the camera does not have a normal recording, so that's pretty depressing. And this one I don't think it's gonna have, because it's gonna be even lower end. I don't know if this is because of overheating or something like that, but I haven't heard people say that the Z6 overheats. So cameras that they targeted so much for video, they even have come up with the firmware update to allow for raw recording with Atmos recorders. Yet it does not have on-camera recording, which is one of the most demanded and best features to have for a video camera. So that's pretty depressing. Again, I don't see this camera having a on-camera recording. If it doesn't have an on-camera recording, I really won't care. I mean, the 4K video crop is kind of bad, but I don't care for the 4K. I just want an on-camera recording camera with good autofocus and good video quality. So yeah, not having on-camera recording, that's gonna really suck. I don't see this camera really selling that well, because the Z6 and Z7 are not really selling that well. So I don't really see this camera selling that well. But yeah. Next we have Panasonic. Panasonic has recently launched a vlogging camera in the Olympus G100. I don't know why companies continue to release this type of cameras. This is getting pretty ridiculous now. I mean, I know video sells pretty well as of now, much more than photo, but it really boggles my mind when companies think that this is vloggers and YouTubers alike want stuff like this. They always target these cameras to people who film themselves and take selfies and stuff like that. But that's not really what people want. People just want good video quality and good autofocus. Panasonic. This camera still has the same DFD autofocus, so it's gonna be pretty bad for face tracking and stuff. I mean, I don't know how many people now have complained about this topic, but it's something that Panasonic really needs to address if they want to have more sales in the future, and they don't want to quit out the Micro Four Thirds or full frame ecosystem, because people have complained Panasonic that they want face detect autofocus or something like that. They have developed, or are developing, should I say, a time-of-flight sensor and the time-of-flight autofocus. I really hope they implement that on the GH6, which is supposed to be announced later this year. But again, the G100, this camera has a flip-out screen, of course. It actually doesn't have a recording. It has 10 minutes 4K. It has 10 minutes limit in 4K, so that's pretty bad, because Panasonic cameras are known for the unlimited recording. It has limited recordings. It has limited recordings, so that really breaks the point of this. Again, like you can see here in this photo, they target this camera they always market it like this, with people grabbing the camera with the selfie stick and filming themselves. Like the selfie screen is only good for this. I mean, I really hate that mentality. Selfie screen is not only great for this. It's really great for photography as well, for macro and stuff. So it really irritates me when they show pictures and make marketing videos and stuff like this, with all these wannabe filmmakers filming themselves. This is really pathetic. Okay, people don't want this. Panasonic, like I said, people want good autofocus in your cameras. That's the only thing you're really lacking now, is good autofocus. So yeah, they also, something interesting actually, they say right here, this camera uses a Micro Four Thirds sensor, yet they go here to say the G100 uses a smartphone crushing 4/3 sensor. Yeah, smartphone crushing, I don't really think so. The difference between a smartphone sensor and a Micro Four Thirds sensor is not that great. Micro Four Thirds is gonna suck in low light, so I don't know what they're implying here, that this sensor is so good. It's not really that great. It's still a Micro Four Thirds sensor, so it's still gonna be bad in low light. And again, the autofocus sucks. It also doesn't have only recording 4K, so people will not really get into this. Now, something that I really like about this camera actually is the microphone. It uses two microphones actually. Now that's pretty great. I've seen some videos of the microphones in action. They actually perform really great. I think they're some of the best sounding microphones in any camera so far. So at least they got the audio right. But again, like I was saying, the autofocus really sucks. If this camera is supposed to be targeted for vloggers, the autofocus really needs to be great for face tracking, so it still has the same DFD autofocus, so it's gonna really suck for filming yourself. So I don't really know why Panasonic continues to do that, why they do continue to offer DFD and not face detection or something like that. I don't know if it's politics or something like that. I'm not really sure. But again, Panasonic, you really need to come up with better autofocus. Otherwise, you're really not gonna be that viable in the market for more years to come. I hope the G6 really delivers. That camera is rumored to be launching later this year. There have already been some specs and stuff. I don't think it's gonna. I really doubt it's gonna have 8K. It might have a newer 41, I believe, megapixel sensor from Sony. I'm not really sure, because then it's gonna be that great in low light. This camera really needs to be great in low light because it's a micro four thirds sensor. So yeah, I really hope. It's also supposed to have 3 models. It's probably gonna have 1 model for video, 1 model for photo, and 1 hybrid model, like they did with the G9, the G5, and the G5S. I'm not really sure. I hope it has the same screen type as the S1H. That's the best screen implementation so far. If it has that and the body of the G9, that's gonna be really great. It's gonna have on-memory recording, so that's pretty nice. But again, how is the autofocus gonna be? If it has the same DFT autofocus, I don't think it's gonna be that great selling. If it has the time of flight sensor, which they are developing, that's gonna be nice. So let's hope the G6 really delivers. So yeah. And now to end this video up, we have some sad news right here. So Olympus is planning to sell its imaging division to GIP. Now, this was something that I was kind of expecting. Olympus hasn't been selling that great in the camera department, so it was just really a matter of time before they quit the camera division. Now they're here saying that they plan to sell. I don't know if they're going to be really selling or if they have already sold the division or not. But yeah, I mean, Olympus. This is kind of sad because Olympus really made Micro Four Thirds what it really is. I know most people get into Panasonic for video and stuff, and that's the best thing in my opinion for Micro Four Thirds is really the video department. They're mostly used for video, but they're also great for photography. And Olympus really is nice because, for example, they still have the best image stabilization on the market. I really think Olympus should have invested in full frame. Just imagine if they entered the full frame market and they implemented their awesome image stabilization in full frame, that will be pretty great. They have some really great lenses, but unfortunately they're very expensive. So I don't really. It was only a matter of time before this happened. I don't really see Olympus really being that remarkable in the future. They have their medical division, so that's where they get most of their money. So they don't really need the imaging division. But like I was saying, they have pretty great lenses. Their bodies really suck. I don't really like Olympus cameras, but their lenses are pretty great. Like the 12-100 f4, for example, the 12-40 2.8, the 300 f4. They have a ton of great, amazing glass right there. Better glass than Panasonic. Actually, Panasonic has the better bodies, but Olympus has the better lenses. So this is kind of sad. And now this leaves the question as to what is Panasonic gonna do. Are they gonna quit the Micro Four Thirds systems as well, or are they now gonna take advantage that Olympus is out and have the market all for themselves? We still do not know. I hope Olympus really comes back from this, because the GIP, this company, they are known to make businesses and further optimize them, like update and stuff like that. This kind of happened with Sony and Vaio, for example. Vaio were the Sony division of laptops. They were sold to this company, and this company released the further updates on them, I believe, something like that. So maybe this company will further enhance the Olympus, and they're gonna be releasing in the future a better ecosystem, and Olympus will continue to develop cameras. I don't know, but I really doubt that, because Olympus, like I said, is not really selling that great. The cameras and lenses are pretty expensive, so I don't really see Olympus really coming out of this, so kind of sad. And this is really bad for Micro Four Thirds users, because there's a lot of people in the world that have invested a lot in Micro Four Thirds, and now that Olympus is out of the ecosystem, that's going to be really depressing for those people who have wasted a lot of money and resources on their system. And like I was saying, Panasonic now, they can capitalize on this, but since Panasonic now has the full frame system and the Almont Alliance, I don't really think Panasonic is going to continue to develop Micro Four Thirds cameras as much. They're still going to continue to develop them, of course, but I think it's going to be in a much slower pace now, especially because of Olympus quitting the ecosystem. So yeah, kind of sad news, but it's life, guys. So yeah, Olympus sells, or is planning to sell the ecosystem, so that really sucks. But oh well, that's it, guys. So yeah, I mean, I could talk about this as well, I guess, because it's Panasonic related. This is actually a pretty interesting lens that Panasonic has released, the Lumix S 20-60mm f3.5 to 5.6. Now this lens is pretty nice because of the zoom range. It goes from 20 to 60 millimeters. This is pretty much an equivalent to the 10 to 25 f1.7 for Micro Four Thirds. But there's a problem with this lens, or should I say, some problems. But the biggest problem with this lens is the variable aperture. It's a 3.5 to 5.6 lens. I know it's to keep the size small and to make it cheaper. It's not really that expensive. I believe it's $600 or something like that. That's not really that expensive, and it's pretty compact as well. It's pretty small. It really fits the S1 cameras full frame. The full frame cameras, the S1, the S1 are really great. But like I was saying, it's variable aperture. I wish it was 3.5 constant. If it was 3.5 constant, that would be pretty nice. This lens can replace a lot of primes actually. It's really great because it starts at 20 millimeters, not 24. I wish more companies would release 20 millimeter starting zoom lenses. 24 millimeters is nice, but 20 millimeters is really great. 20 millimeters is probably the best focal length for gimbal video and stuff, so that's pretty nice. It also focuses very closely, so it's pretty great for macro. But again, it's 3.5, 5.6, that really sucks. But overall it's a pretty nice lens. So yeah, it's a pretty nice lens for the system. So it's pretty nice that Panasonic is coming out with this interesting focal length. Canon is also doing that, but Panasonic is really emphasizing on that. So yeah, pretty nice lens, I guess. It's pretty cheap as well, so this is gonna help further the Almont Alliance ecosystem. So yeah, the Panasonic Lumix S 20-60 millimeters. So that was it, guys. So yeah, I think I'm gonna put the video to an end because I don't want to make it too long, like I said in the beginning of the video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will be making further videos like this still in the month of July. The Canon EOS R5 and R6 announcement are I think they're supposed to be announced on July 2nd, so tomorrow. I'm filming this video on July 1st. But when the EOS R5 and the R6 get announced, I will be making a follow-up video to this to talk about those cameras and the specs, because they're most likely to show the full specs of those cameras. So let's hope they deliver. As for Sony, they're supposed to announce the A7S II Successor later this month, or at least in the end of the summer. So let's hope for that. Let's hope that mythical camera is really great. I don't think it's gonna be, but let's hope for the best. And yeah, guys, that was it. So thank you guys for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you like my work and want to support me. Also follow me on social media as well. Be sure to be on the lookout for future gaming videos as well. I have already released a video showing you my gaming layouts that I will use for the future gameplays and speedruns. I'm also going to be doing Let's Plays with Unholy layouts. I will most likely do both versions, one with the layout and one without. So yeah, I plan on starting the gameplay videos this month still. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. And again, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you like my work and want to support me. So thank you guys for watching once again. Also, sorry about the autofocus. I left it in continuous autofocus, mostly because of the mug right here. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. UNHOLY-OMEGA, signing out.